Okay, so, hey, this is Minister Evangelist Crystal Lax, and I'm going real because I'm so tired of people. I'm too old. I'm 59 years old. But we got young people up under us. Really, we really do. And we got a lot of people lying to them. And a lot of people trying to mess your life up if you don't make those right choices and decisions. See, if you're looking for wisdom, because my daddy was locked up and my mama was out on the street, prostituting on drugs. But, okay, that's a bad hand that you got, right? Yeah, and you've been in juvie a couple of times, right? Right. So what I want to do, because I've been molested, I've been through a lot in my years too, and I was angry, I was mad, I had that attitude on you. You understand? I had that attitude. You understand me? Didn't nobody give a dang about me? Why should I care about them? Attitude. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, we're going to talk about the attitude and why you walking around bitter and mad, and you have every right. Let me validate this if nobody else will validate your feelings. See, I learned that in counseling that is very important for people to validate what you have went through. So I'm going to validate you if nobody else have not done that for you in your life. You have every right for your anger because you was a child and things was done to us as children instead of having adults taking care of us. They probably was all messed up in their head, or they just was so self-centered and narcissistic and all about them that they wanted kids, but they didn't have what it takes to sit down and really discipline themselves and raise children right. You understand? So we was left out there by ourselves. Basically, even if you got family around, if ain't nobody protecting you, you in that house by yourself with abusers, with toxic people. You understand? So I know about the attitude, and they're quick to lock you up in juvie. You understand? But to every at-risk teen and there's a reason for that anger. You learn something, a cause and effect. What is causing it, if you will? See, adults is quick to just assume this is a troublemaking kid. Ain't no hope for this kid. They wrote me off, honey. You might as well write that off. You might as well write her off. So they have the audacity to want to write you off in your younger years because they just don't know how to deal with people like you, with children that have been severely abused and traumatized, right? And teenagers. Okay. So I'm going to use my experience to try to reach out to some of you. I may not get all of you because you just like hurting people. You don't want to change. You just find pleasure, like your abuser. You found pleasure in hurting other people. So you keep that abusive cycle going around and around because you love it. Because if you don't love it, you would change it. You would do something good and positive for someone else so that your sister, your brother, or neighbor next door, so that other people wouldn't have to go through what you went through. But first, we got to get down in the bottom, the gut of your stomach. Because that's what I had to do. You understand? That means that you had to face the abuse in your life. And that's the most scary thing. You understand? And you try to run away from it. You try to keep people. You build these walls around you. You understand what I'm saying? You got that attitude. You know what I'm saying? What you looking at and all that. You understand me? But that's not how you want to operate for the rest of your young years into your 30s, into your 40s, into your 50s. You understand? Those that have learned anger as a way to control the people and things around them will continue to do that as 40 and 50 years old without a change. And you don't want to walk in life being 40 and 50, and the only way that you know how to get things is to get mad at your mother, to get mad at your wife, to get mad at your husband, to get mad at your children, and everybody is walking on eggshell. That's a pattern of abuse that's just recycling itself. Okay? So what we're going to do is a slight little exercise that I've learned over the years, and we got to get down to the core. And I want to know the hat that you rocking right now. As you know that I've been on the streets. So the hat that you rocking right now, whether it's a drug dealer hat, a wannabe pimp hat, a wannabe sex trafficking hat, a wannabe womanizing player hat, what hat is fitting you? And for the young ladies with the attitude, you're right, I validate you. I validate you. My stepdad did this and my mom did this, because mothers also turn out their children. So I validate you. If you never hear anyone else tell you this, I'm going to tell you. I, Crystal Lashelle Lax, is going to tell you. Because once someone validated what I was saying, and they believed me, it took a load off of me. You understand? It took a load, and it took a load off of that attitude. That's what. You understand? Because my attitude was really bad, because I was hurt and angry as a young woman. And then the more that people did not believe me, it just made me even more angry. And it's something when you suppress your anger down. And then you have occasion where you just can't take it and you will explode. You understand? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to catch you while you're young. While you still got a chance as a young person to change those old behavior patterns of how to get things in life. Throwing temper tantrums. No, that's not the way, because you'll be throwing temper tantrums when you're 40 and 50 or 60 years old. You don't want to interact with people like that. So this one black lady, in South Bend, they didn't play with me. I said, Crystal, look up there. Because she got tired of that attitude and rolling the eyes. So she said, Crystal, look up there on my wall. And I said, your attitude determines your altitude. And, well, I mean, why are you telling me this? And she was like, okay, let's read it again. She said, Crystal, look up there. She said, read it. I said, your attitude determines your altitude. And she said, that determines how high you're going to go. It's by your attitude. How high are you going to go? Right? Okay. So, for the young ladies, which wig are you wearing? Are you wearing the slut, the prostitute, the hoe, the stripper? Which wig are you wearing? Because somebody told you that you're worthless and you're nothing but a whore, or you're nothing but a prostitute. All you're going to do is grow up and be a prostitute. Or you're going to be just like your mama. Your mama was a hoe. You're going to turn out be like her. You're going to turn out be just like your mama. They always, some people, some adults are very cruel. They prophesy evil things on you. You're never going to finish school. You're going to be a dropout. You're going to be in a house with a house full of kids. So they prophesied all of these negative things to come to pass in your life. I was prophesied all of those. I was prophesied that your kids not going to even want to be around you. Nobody going to want to be around you. You understand? You're going to be married, but your husband not going to even live around you. You understand? And it seems like people are purposely trying to manifest that thing even in my 50-year-old life. Because they hate for people to be around me, because they have spoke so much negativity that when they see the positive, it makes them look ashamed, because they was running their mouth to Tom, Dick, and Harry about me, but I made them look stupid. Okay? This is where you want to make people that already predicted. They're not God. Tupac said only God can judge me. So they're not your God. You're the man and you're the woman. You're the young man that will be turning into a young adult man and young adult woman. You determine what type of young woman and what type of young man that you want to be. Nobody else can say that, not even your mama and your daddy. Nobody can tell you what type of young man that you could be, even if you in juvie, even if you right now out on the street and you hear this message. You so happen to try to make fun of me and you happen to hear what I have to say. It's not until you determine what hat that don't fit you. If selling drugs not your hat, take it off. Anything you're ashamed of, you need to get rid of it. Like my pastor, Evelyn Ponder used to always say when I was a young woman going to her church. And she said, anything you're ashamed of, Sister Crystal, you need to get rid of it. You understand? Anything that you're wearing that don't fit you, of who you are, you just been so trying to fit in with the world. And I'm trying to save you before you get old. And then you realize that I never had to fit in with him. It's okay for me to be myself. See, this is where I'm trying to bring you to. The best type of hat for you to put on is your own hat. Is your own hat. You being who you are. You don't have to fit in. You don't have to do drastic things and hop on the bandwagon to feel like I'm a part of something. Once you give yourself over to God, once you give yourself over to Jesus, you into a new family. You up there saying the street is my family. No, God, if you give yourself over to God, God give you a new family. God give you a church family. And teach you a new way of how to deal with people, how to talk to people, how to be polite with people, how to be more gentle. Because out on the street, you got to be more hard, right? Right, exactly. So therefore, we need to get down to the pain. Nothing is going to change your life until you get down to the nitty gritty, the cause and the effect of it. And that's where you start talking about the abuse in your life. And what I've learned, the more that you talk, the more that you are going through your own self-healing. There may be days when you angry. You don't take it out on innocent people because they're not the one that abuse you. And that's what you need to understand. Never take your anger or what somebody else did to you out on innocent people, because these are random innocent people that never harmed you or hurt you. And you don't want to be like some psycho person that's all emotional and don't know how to control and gear their own emotion and just messing with people in society and being mad at everybody in the world and taking it out on innocent people, right? So you want to center. You first of all, you want to pinpoint and you want to ask yourself the why. Why am I angry? Then you want to say, when did it start? When? Then where did it start? And what can I do about this? How? How can I help myself? Then if you don't believe, let's just say that you're not believing in God because, you still got that street mentality, right? But still you want to help yourself for right now. I could preach God to you, but I'm not preaching God to you right now. I'm preaching street science to you and street lingo, if you understand me. So therefore, in order for you to get out of the hurt and get off the streets, get out of the hurt to get off the streets, prostitution and drugs, because someone told you that this is all you good for, boy. It's to sell drugs. You ain't gonna never amount to nothing else in your life. You ain't good for nothing else but getting in trouble, being one of those that always get in trouble or starting trouble in the neighborhood. So you have already had negative prophecy spoken on you. Why live somebody else's prophecy for you? That's their sticky notes. You ain't got nothing to do with somebody else's sticky notes that they want to put on you. Oh, well, I don't know what to tell them, because that means that I'm not who you are. I'm not who you say I am. And I'm not who you're telling everybody else that I am. For I know Crystal, and I know who I am. I don't did too much work on myself over the years to let someone else dictate to other people who I am. But I have done too much work to keep backtracking myself to make other people prove that I am who I am. God never proved who he is. Has he? How have God? We are just told to have faith in him. Is that right? God have never proved himself that I am the God. I mean, like, he doesn't have to. He says, I am. When you read the Bible, God said, I am who I am. And he leaves us like this. Like, you either believe or you don't believe, but I am who I am. And if we are in God, then we are who we are. And we don't have to prove to people that's going around town and spreading all type of lies and rumors about us. Because what happens with liars is that they get caught up in their own lies. Because they're so jealous of you and they want your position, or they want to be like Mike and Ike, but they can't be because your own original self, that God made you your own original self with your own hat and your own wig. And that's your individual hat and that's your individual wig. Now, it's up to you whether you're going to keep on trying to be like other people and you're going to keep on trying to clone in with other people, or you're going to go ahead and step out the crowd. See, it's something about when you read about successful people. I mean, real good successful people, and they tell their hardship story. And it's something about, they also said how they got to step away from the crowd. You don't become a bandwagon. You separate. You separate from what you see is wrong. You separate from people that is doing other people wrong. You don't participate with them. I don't care if you went to school from elementary, middle school, and high school. Apparently, they never grew up. So why are you hanging and banging with them? You understand? So therefore, you are your own individual person. And if you don't catch it while you're young, you're going to be some 40-year-old still doing the same old. So there's some people out there on the streets that will brag about, man, I've been smoking and I've been doing drugs since the age of 13. And sir, you like 65 and 70 years old. Sir, do you find that cute? Do you find that cute? I mean, like, man, you looking messed up and you up here bragging about this to the young generation like this the thing to be. And this is one thing that the young people have to understand, that not all older people is down for you. And you need to wake up to that. Some older people are jealous of your youth. You wonder why they're picking and nitpicking with you, because they're jealous of your youth. Why would they be jealous of my youth? Because they messed up somewhere while they was a young person, and they gave up on their dreams, they gave up on hope, they gave up on life, and they just decided to just go ahead and self-destruct. So they see you, and you got dreams, and you got vision, and you got aspiration, and you just want to be, you ready to conquer the world, and you ready to get your music out there, your books out there, or whatever else that I'm going to be. I'm going to make my own designer clothes and all this. And you have those negative adults that will crush all of your dreams, your aspiration, your vision. And then, oh, why don't you have a drink and just drink with us, honey? Ain't no need about doing that, because there's so many other people out there that makes clothes. Yes, they do. They do. They make clothes. Yes, but I make them different. I got my own little style to it. I put my own little carving initial in my things. So yes, they do, and that's good that we got a variety pack. But see, God made me with my own uniqueness. I have my own crystal unique style. I'm not trying to clone myself like somebody else, because then I wouldn't be authentic and real and transparent with my own self. You can't be real. Then this is what I learned. Crystal, you can't be real with nobody until you get real with Crystal, until you get real with God. You can't be real with your friends and your family until you learn how to be real with yourself. You sitting up here trying to deny that you in pain. You gotta be able to even open yourself up to say, I'm in pain. And why are you in pain? And then you go through your questions and you go and ask yourself, and then you ask God if he can come in and heal that part of your pain and make you into a better person. And now I'm being truthful with God. I'm being truthful with myself. Now I can be authentic and transparent with someone else. I don't have to lie to them. I don't have to cover up that I'm in pain and pretend like I'm not in pain, but yet I'm aching. I mean, if I take my hands and I put it on a stove, a hot stove, and I'm telling people I'm not in pain, unless you got that rare disease or condition where you can just be over fire and you don't feel nothing. Honey, you are in pain. And this is what a lot of people is walking around with. They walking around with past pain. And then they trying to fake it, make it, bake it, and shake it as if nothing is wrong. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Or you wouldn't be taking your anger out on me. Yes, it is. You got healing to do. And I'm not your Jesus, because I need a Jesus. I need the Jesus. So I'm not your Jesus. But however, we share each other experience in life so that we can help one another. Out of all the work on myself, the therapy, the therapist, the psychiatrist, the psychology, yeah, whoever was whoever was given the counseling courses, at the end of the day, I took it, and at the end of the day, the best one that I find is more for me is group peer sessions, where there's people of your own peers that's going through the same thing you're going through, or went through the same thing that you went through, and see you got something in common. And so it's like you develop a different style of friendship because you got something in common. They know what it's like to be abused. They know what it's like to be put down. They know what it's like to be verbal abused. They know what it's like to be financial abused. Somebody keeping money from you, and you got to go get things, especially as a woman, and you got to have money withheld from you. You can't go to the store and buy your feminine products because this person try to keep jobs from you, will call the job site and spitefully will say something bad about you to supervisors, to bosses, to all these people in order to block you and keep you from money, and then will turn around out of cruelty and laugh in your face and call you a broke person while they keeping money from you, withholding money, depriving money from you, trying to use this was financial domination. Like some people have a financial domination fantasy where they try to dominate people's finance and their money in order to feel like they got power and control over that person. But our job is to keep going until we have broken their power and control, their little false sense of power and control. Now, if they truly was looking for power, they would have ran to the Holy Spirit. Because in the book of Acts, Jesus told them, do not leave Jerusalem until the promise that God promised you, the Holy Spirit that comes with power. So if you really want power, you would have been on call on the Holy Spirit, and you would have asked God for the real power. Not your power because you could get a group of people to make fun of one person, because you could get a group of people to stalk and harass one person, because you could get a group of people to go in with you about seeing an innocent woman and innocent people with mental health and older people being exploited. That is not power. That's called criminal activity, to break it down to you even more further. It, in reality terms, in legal terminology, that is criminal activity, and that is not power. It is not power. The power of the Holy Ghost is the real power. You have the power to heal. The Holy Spirit comes with the ability to give you healing. The Holy Spirit comes with the ability that once you got healed, then now you have the ability to heal other people. The Holy Spirit comes where through fasting and praying, you can cast out demons and people that have been tormented with demons for years, that you're praying over them and you're seeing demons leave their life. Demons leave their home, but you just have to pray and fast for it. Now that's power. Whenever the demons are afraid and they start running from the spirit that is in you, now you're a powerful man and woman. If you can't run away no demons and you got the demons living in you, you're not power. You're not powerful just because you can get people all over social media, all over the internet to sit up there and laugh and talk about somebody. No, you weak. Why would it take a gang of people to attack one person? No, you weak. You're weak. And you're trying to soup yourself up in order for special narcissistic type of people. They try to always soup their self up as if they're above the world. Well, that sounds like the spirit of Lucifer. If everybody knows the story about the spirit of Lucifer, he wanted to exalt himself over God, and he got his tail kicked out. God didn't play that, and God don't play that. He got kicked out along with the third of the angel. You not up in here. It's like one of your teenager children decide that they're going to take over mom and dad place, and I'm going to be over mom and dad place. And after mom and dad don't work they butt off and they don't got the house paid off, no, you're not. Now you either going to respect the rules and the laws here, or that's in this house, or you could get the stepping, bruh. And that's exactly what happened to Lucifer. So therefore, we're going to be true with ourselves, what we're feeling. We're going to be true with ourselves, what we're really feeling. If you're having a bad day, don't take it out on other people. Just say that, don't take this personal, but today is not a good day. You know, you had a loss today. And I lost my son 4 months ago. He's up there in the urns. I have my good days, I have my bad days. I have this knucklehead that keep trying to follow me and stalk me. Do you think that a mother that just lost her 4 children, lost her child 4 months ago, do you really think I got time for this man stuff? And whoever else that joins in on them. Come on, do you think that a mother that had to raise her kids by herself and struggle financially, only making $3.35 an hour? I know that this man don't want nobody to hear my story. I know, because it's all about him. He loves attention, and he want to be the attention. He want to be the center of attention. But does this man really feel that mom just lost her child 4 months ago, and you coming around her with your agenda and your propaganda? Do you think this woman really want to hear you right now and want to hear your social media opinion and commentary words about her? Your opinion is not the law. Even if I don't look the way that you want to, I'm not married to you. I am not married to you. You understand? Some of your exes, some of your acquaintance, maybe you just had a brief moments with them, and they're thinking that they can just power control you, and you don't have a say so. Well, how is that? And I'm a grown ass woman. How is that possible? That means a grown ass woman is legally able to make consensual decisions and choices for herself. Now, who are you? Even if I was married, I'm still a grown woman. And if I choose not to be around an abusive husband, that's exactly what I choose. And everybody else need to validate me on that. And they need to respect my rights not to have an abuser around me. I should not have to be chased down by an abuser. The law is the law. And no matter how they try to swaggle their way out of facing the law, your opinion is causing harm in somebody's life. your opinion is harassment. Your opinion or cyber harassment, phone harassment, and all of this. This is harassment. It is against the law. And people are turning their heads to see, especially women. The women are having these things happen to them, or young children. They're having these things happen to them, and a lot of young girls don't know what to do because it's a group of people attacking them, and they just don't know what to do. They don't know how to fight them. They don't have enough evidence and proof, especially if they're being cyberbullied. So what exactly do they do? At some point, the group in the community got to put their foot down and say, we don't seen enough of this and enough is enough. That's the only thing that you can do. They can't fight a whole group of people, though that they get a whole group of people. But when a whole group of people fight them back, it's a different story. It's a different story. So we need to get real with ourselves. That's your first step, is that if you want your original, authentic, the blueprint hat that God brought you to the earth with, and somewhere down the line, it got lost. Well, you need to claim that hat back or that wig back, yourself, who you are, that I am who I am. I like to draw. I like to skateboard. I like to do artwork. I love to rap. This is who I am. Or maybe you're multi-talent. You do a little bit of everything because God gave you those skills. Now, why would I have to feel ashamed about something I didn't ask for? It was just given to me. So I'm going to, my job was to be birthed into the earth to show people and share my gifts with people, and hopefully to make a profit off of my gifts. Why should I be ashamed of something that God gave me? And why should I be ashamed that I don't want to do drugs in order to get my money? I don't want to sell my body like some of the guys always promoting. And it's like, why are you always promoting for women to get out there? You got to do what you got to do. Why don't you get out there and do what you got to do? You know, it's like, why are you the recruiters out there on the streets? Well, you got all that body. Why don't you be a stripper in the club? Why don't you get out there and go strip in the club? Why are you trying to always promote women, young girls, to get out there on the club, to get out there in the strip club? But knowing this though, how come you don't tell them the real truth? That a lot of them in prostitution that you're trying to promote and you're not there to protect them, that a lot of them end up dead. Why don't you tell the truth? A lot of them end up dead. A lot of them end up going with those men and they beat on them. Why don't you tell the truth? See, it's something about the devil. The devil is only going to give you part of the truth. He's going to make it sound like candy. He's going to put that caramel on it and sprinkle little nuts on it and hand you a nasty, rotten, bitter, poison apple. See, that's how the devil do. The devil will wrap that stuff and spit that game like it's all good. You understand? But he lying to you all that time. See, they don't tell you that being a stripper puts your life in danger. Yes, it does. Yeah, all they talk about is the money. The money. Well, dang, that means that if it's all about the money, then why is they making it rain only dollar bills? How come they ain't got no 100 flowing? That's what I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why you gotta go get dollar bills? That's a long stretch to become a millionaire. You understand? At the end of the day, bruh, throw some hundreds out there. You understand me? That's just my sense of humor. But at the end of the day, they try to make it seem like it's all about the money and you got to go get this money. That's because you want some of my money and you got to use a woman body in order for your broke ass to get money. And you're trying to promote women so that you could get a piece of the cut. So I got to go out there as a woman and I got to go do all the work so that you can get a piece of the cut. You understand? Yeah. At the end of the day, sorry. I call them scums, man. That's scums. Like you so focused on being this wearing this hat of a pimpalition, and I could have sworn that the pimps don't play it out because they dry as heck, and they dried out like the Jerry curl, and we know that the Jerry curl used to drip drop, so that's how dry that they are, honey. At the end of the day, got some of the old pimp. They still wear the disco shirt with the collars all the way down with the hairy chest, and then they got all those gold chains on them and stuff. Ooh, look at here. That's a 1976 pimp daddy. And they still out there trying to talk the game and walk the walk, even with a walker and a what they call it, the little cane. He's trying to be a cane arthritis pimp. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we need to. This is where I'm telling you, your older people will try to get you caught up in the game in order to mess up your future. Are you understanding me? They try to get you started and groom you early on in life so you get caught up in the game, probably show you that, see, I told you you're going to make some money. I told you that you're going to make that money. That's all they talk about. They need to be out here on the streets and making this money. Shut your broke ass, wannabe ass, pimp ass the hell up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, fool. Shut up, fool. Out there, no, don't nobody need no pimp daddy like you, broke down ass. At the end of the day, see, I do go there, I do, because I still got, I still got a little roughness around me. But compared to how I was, God don't tone it down a lot. But it's like at the end of the day, who are you to sit up here trying to act like you the pimp daddy of social media with your broke down self? You need a woman in order for your tail to get money. That's pathetic. I could have sworn that the man's supposed to be a provider. I could have sworn that the man's supposed to be a protector and a provider. And you out here promoting women to go get money in that way. That I gotta be a sex promoter. Ha, dang, that's or a trafficker. Oh Lord, he wanna live big. I'm living the big life, baby. He wanna try to live the big life off of a woman body. How about that? Try to get the young girls. They don't promote. Listen. They don't promote you as a doctor. Try to get you into college to be a doctor. They don't promote you as an attorney to try to get you in law school so that you can be a lawyer. Huh? They don't promote you so that you could be somebody. They want to promote you as a stripper because I only value you about your body. I don't value the brain that God gave you. Yeah, I'm not trying to do that, baby girl. No, I'm looking at all that body that you got, and I'm just saying, like, shoot, there's no need for you to be broke and asking men for nothing when you could go into this club right here. You know what I'm saying? They hire every day. They'll probably go up there. They'll probably hire you. You understand? That's the devil rapping to her through him. But he's leaving something out, though. Sometimes those clubs are dangerous. Sometimes even the people that runs the club is dangerous. You understand? Sometimes they lock a girl in and they don't let her ever leave until she probably old. And she probably still be an old stripper for them. You understand? They don't tell that part. They don't tell the young man about that you're going to have rivals. They're going to come up. They're going to run up on you. They're going to steal your stuff. You understand? They don't want to tell them the truth because somebody lying to them. Somebody lying to them. Somebody lied to us. That's the song by Seven. Somebody lied to us. Because that song is saying that's how the homie taught them how to do that. You understand? So you don't want to mess up your young years, and you haven't even made it to 20 yet. You don't want to mess up your young years, and you haven't even made it to 30 yet. Listening to these old cats who life don't played out, or foolish young people that's so quick to shed blood. So then I must tell you that in order for you to stop this trailblazing and this bandwagon, first of all, you got to be brave to come up from among them. When you read the story about Abraham, in order for God to have made Abraham the father of all nations, that he had to come up from among his sinful, toxic family so that God can work with him. In order for you to be yourself and know who you are, sometimes you got to separate from those fake friends. Sometimes you got to separate from those fake acquaintances. Sometimes you got to separate from your family. Why? Because God is about ready to change you. And there's something about when you start to change your life. You got to be brave on this. Why you say that, Crystal? Because people hate change. As long as you out there fighting, shooting up people, sliding down that stripper pole, or out there walking stroll, whatever, they loving you. They loving you because you doing what they wanted you to do anyway. Look at her. Yeah, that's our baby girl. Now you the baby girl. Now you the lady. Now you the woman, huh? Now that's our dude for us. That's our man right there. Never gonna let us down. See? Now you being acknowledged. But when you get ready to make a 360-degree turnaround about your life, now you better get ready for isolation. You better get ready. I'm about ready to end this message by 41. But you better be ready for people to turn on you. See, before you was naive, you was gullible, you understand? And you believed every word that people said to you without you researching it on your own. And they found it funny to be able to take advantage of your gullibility and being naive and being able to believe everything. They figured out, yeah, they easy to train. You understand? That's why some old cats used to say, no, I like those young girls because I could train them. The older women can't be trained because we have already lived life. You understand? So they like the young girls who they can start while they're young and get up in their head. And now he got her control all throughout her 20s, all in her 30s, and sometime even for half of her life until she wakes up and say, wait a minute, yeah, I got a brain of my own. I can think for myself. I can do for myself. You understand? It's not until that mind wake up. So until then, you have to be your own authentic self. You should go to the book of Proverbs. The book of Proverbs is wisdom. The Bible says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of your wisdom. So if I really want to make good choices and decisions, I'm going to go to the book of wisdom. And then I'm going to read the things that God detests. That's in the Ecclesiastic. And there's nothing new up under the sun, baby, that you're doing. You're just a newer generation doing it. You understand? And the older generation is fading on out. And then the newer generation going to be doing what you're doing. So the game will continue to play as long as the earth exists. It's just with different people. Different people rolling the dice of life. You feel me? So at the end of the day, I know that people don't told a lot of people not to listen to me. But I think I got a powerful story. I've been through so much. That's okay. You ain't got to listen. You ain't got to listen. Because I am priceless. And I'm worthy to be validated. And I don't say nothing that is a lie. I speak from my heart and the truth and the Bible. Life experience or what I went through. So you ain't got to listen. To me, it's like you should be glad that older people takes time out with the young people to even give a message. Maybe one person, I hear it, Lord, and maybe they can connect to me about the attitude and how people thought about me and all this when it was just hurt and pain. You understand? Hurting that I didn't have my mama there, hurting that I didn't have my daddy there. Okay? Yeah, yeah. We pulling it out. Yeah, because I do believe in digging down deep, down in your gut. Yeah, and that's where you got to pull it out from. You got to pull all of that gunk and junk and garbage that you don't held over the years, and or people didn't let you express it so that you could get it out your system. So you held it in until you don't blew up on people. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't want to be, 60 years old and can't nobody talk to you, can't nobody say nothing to you, because you're going to blow up on them. You feel me? So therefore, at the end of the day, I think that I got a story to tell people, honey. It's like once upon a time, okay? But we ain't gonna go there because that's a long, long, long story. My kids know. Like when my kids was young, and it's like at the end of the day when I stopped whooping them and I just lecture them and I just tell them a long, long story, and it's like they would say, "Mom, why don't you just whoop us and get it done and over?" Because I tell them a long story, they be sleepy and tired. But anyway, that was my way to stop doing whooping them with belts and stuff. How I was trained, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to do that, so I would lecture them or put them in the corner, take away their toys, use other alternative. Okay. But that lecturing, it works. They were tired. They would be so sleepy and tired. And it's like, so you guys do understand me? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So anyway, I hope that this message is not all of it. But at the end of the day, I hope that some of you will stop being a part of the crew, the majority rule. And I really need you to understand this, because they really got this in people's head in this world, that the majority rule. Well, wait a minute. Because I wasn't born with a majority. I was born in this world all by crystal self. And this is what's going to happen. This is a self journey. This ain't no majority journey. The majority can't come in my life if I don't want the majority in. If they force their way, well, that would be like a non-consensual type of invasion, wouldn't it? That somebody is forcing and trespassing themselves on you, and you don't want their viewpoints. I don't want your belief. I don't want none of that. What you talking about, brother? You talking about having women out on the streets, and you trying to what? You trying to act like that you big timer off a women body? Don't you got a daughter, son? Sir, you have daughters. How do you think other men are looking at your daughters if that's how you look at other people's daughters? Dang, that's a double whammy. To know that you in that type of lifestyle with daughters and granddaughters and nieces. Dang. They're going to grow up one day. You can't keep your eyes on them 24 hours, and nobody is really schooling the young men to be gentlemen like. So they sitting up here letting these young men sit up here and walk any kind of way, approaching young girls, approaching their daughters like this and ready to fight the daddy. No structure. No structure. Because the older men, they too busy trying to get the young women away from the young men. You understand? So if you find older people that is more than willing to give you a nugget or two, a gold nugget or two, take it as a rare treasure. Because in this society, you hear them. I ain't got time to mess with these young people. You understand? So if you find someone that can come close to relating to you, maybe you can reach out to me, because I'm not going to track you down. People come to me, and it's like I don't mind listening, but I also got to make a living too. You understand? I also got to make a living. I got to take care of myself too. I always used to sit down and listen to everybody's story. And after they have done dumping on me, I guess you could call it dumping, I'm still broke. And my electric bill and bills needed to have been paid. I did the work of a therapist. I did the work of a consultant. You understand? That I'm sitting with you for 30 minutes, sitting with you for an hour. You feel me? I should have got something out of it. There should have been something in your heart without me begging for it. It should have been something in your heart to say, you know what, I want to give you something for listening to me. You feel me? You know, at the end of the day, $10 to get you a cup of coffee and your cigarettes. You feel me? So at the end of the day, you got to realize that you are you. And you got to just walk in you and just realize people is not going to like you. I'm trying to tell you, if nobody else will tell you the truth, I'm going to tell you the truth. Your family ain't going to like you because you changed. The first thing that they're going to say, Crystal have changed. Trust me, that came out. She changed, girl. Yes, I changed for the better. Working on myself. You know, oh, he changed, girl. He ain't even hanging out with us no more. Yeah, because he learned the secret about isolation and having peace in order for him to work on himself. It's something about the isolation. Yeah, I know it sounds cruel, huh? But you know what? Even when I used to get put on punishment, and go to your room. Okay, I mean, you ain't say nothing but a thing, because I'd listen to every radio music and album that U93 in South Bend, Indiana played. That's how I know all this music. I was like, okay. You ain't doing nothing. I'm in my room. I ain't around y'all toxic people. And I'm doing my journaling. I'm sitting up here making my little skirts and bags. I don't care about being in the room by myself. And I'm listening to every music, every song on the radio. Okay? So it's like there's peace in isolation if you look for it. You understand? There's so much peace in isolation if you look for it. And then when you want to be extrovert, I can be introvert and extrovert. There's moments where I want to talk to people. There's moments where I can keep going with the gift of gab. And there's moments I just don't want to be bothered. And it has nothing to do with you. I'm not feeling it today. I don't feel like smiling, because you don't smile every day. You understand? You really don't. It's okay for you to be your own authentic self of where my feelings is at right now. You understand? Sometimes you don't. It feels like you don't have no feelings. You feel numb, and I don't know. I just don't have. They in there somewhere, but right now I feel like they out of my reach right now. There's moments when you have moments like that. There's moments where you just got a joyful moment that you can feel positive things transitioning in your life. You understand? This is how we walk by our own transparent and crystal clear me. I'm walking in me. I'm walking in the I am, if you will, version of my life. Not the majority rule. I don't know who they are. They're like the HOA people. I don't know why I got to pay these people HOA. Where they come from? I bought this house. I didn't buy no HOA group. And that's how this majority rule, this is how they come in your life. Like, where the heck did you come from, honey? And who is the majority ruling? I'm an individual. I am who I am because I am in God. I don't know where your majority ruling little concept came in, but you need to go on and boot you and the majority on up out of my life, baby. Go and get up out of here. Amen. So therefore, I'm going to stop with this. I think I gave you enough tools and enough little insight for you to dig down inside, and it's always going to go about the who, the what, the where, when, and how, right? Of how you can solve it. When did it happen? What happened? So you're going to need your notebook. Go get you a fresh thing of pens or a pencil and write down on one piece of paper. These are assignments that I want you to do that have helped me over the years, okay? First, you're going to get you a notebook, and this notebook is for your questions. This is what you're gonna ask yourself, because you're doing inner therapy for yourself. Because this is a self journey, and this is, of course, you're gonna go to group or counseling, whatever else you reach outside to get that extra. But right now, you want to clean up the inside of you. You don't want to be fake and phony with people always putting on an outside mask where they look this way and they got so much makeup on because they're trying to hide the scars of being called ugly all their life. You understand? But it's best for you to get your notebook out and you write down the questions, when, why, and all that, right? So set that notebook aside. Then you get you another notebook, okay? This is your own self-therapy that you are doing for yourself on your self-journey here on in this life. You pick up people because you want to, but you drop people when you don't want them no longer in your life. This is your own journey. Do you get it? This is a self journey. If you want to get married, then you will stop that journey. And it's like, okay, I want to be married now. I want to bring forth a husband or a wife or kids into my life. So then you pick that journey up and then you keep going. Now it may work, may not work. If it don't work, you divorce that person and you drop them from the journey of your life. Does that make sense? This is a self-awareness. This is self-esteem. It is called, why are you waiting for someone else to self-esteem you? What are you waiting? What if nobody on this planet will ever give you another compliment again? They will never say that you're beautiful. You're hot. Oh, you're a stud. Oh, you got muscle. What if nobody ever say anything complimentary towards you again? What would happen with you? Would you just wither and die? It's called self-esteem, self-confidence. That means who got to build up self? You do. And that means, where do you find your self-esteem? From you. That's why Crystal, are you telling me to write the who and the why? Because this is going to be your answer. You got the answers to who you are. But first you got to go through the who and why and all these questions. You got to ask yourself these questions. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's going to be that particular folder. Okay? Then we're going to do what we call elimination and manifestation. So you're going to take your third notebook. So you're going to need 3. Go to Walmart, honey. They got them for cheap, honey. And you're going to do your third notebook and you're going to write elimination and manifestation. I haven't done it in a while. And what it is that what I learned through some self-help book is self-help. There we go. We also help our what? Self. Okay. On this self journey. Okay. For your self-esteem and your self-confidence and your self-awareness and your self-motivated and your self-determined. Okay. It's all about self on this journey in life. We are born by ourselves, and we're going to die with who? By ourselves. Okay? I want you to get this concept so you can stop looking for outside people to approve you. And you can finally go into this mode. I don't have to please nobody. Don't have to prove nothing to nobody. No family members, especially family. Because family figure, well, we family and I know you. No, you don't know me. No, you don't. I'm still trying to get to know me. So how you going to know me better than me? Okay? And so, okay, so on this last notebook, this is an assignment that I'm giving to you. If you really want healing from the inside and you don't want to fake it, make it, bake it, or shake it, and you want to be able to be true about yourself, and you want to be true about God, and you want to be true to other people, it's going to start with self. So this last one is going to be where you write elimination. You could do it like manifestation on the back, or you can put elimination on the front, and then on the flip side you put manifestation. So what you're going to do is start from the top of your head, honey. And it's like picture your head with many closets in there, and there's skeletons in those closets that you've been hiding, and you've been keeping them a secret, right? And it doesn't matter how bad that they are. That closet needs to be cleaned out for you to be a better person and for you to think clearer. Because right now, you got some things in your past that you have done and people have done to you, and they're in the closet of your mind. So when you get ready, you're going to start cleaning out the closets of your mind. All your bitter thoughts, all your mean thoughts, or I wish that this person was dead. Eliminate. You want to put it on your elimination list, okay? But you telling the truth. Are you not telling the truth? I hate that person that molested me. And then you want to put it on your eliminate. Lord, eliminate this thought, okay? Because that's exactly what elimination means. Is that I'm giving it over to the Lord for him to eliminate these things out of my life, out of my mind, out of my thoughts, out of my feelings, and my hurt and my pain, okay? And I still got to do my elimination because I haven't done it in a while. So I got a lot of built up skeletons up in the closet, if you will. So you do that, and then on the flip side, now that you done cleaned out your closet, now they got to be filled up with positive things. So now on the flip side, you want to do manifestation. So you write on the top of the page, Lord, manifest this into my mind, my heart, and my life. My action, your will, is what you do, is your action, because your soul is what? Your mind, emotion, and your will. Your soul is what? Mind, emotion, and will. I'm going to say it again. Your soul is what? Mind, your thoughts, imagination, everything that goes up there in your mind. And then it is your emotions, your heart, your feelings, right? And then your will is your action, your behavior, attitude. Okay? So what you want is, God, I want you to manifest more of a positive thoughts in this area. You know what I'm saying? You want God to fill up those closets in your mind with positive thoughts. That I am good enough. I am better. I don't care what they're saying about me to other people. Let's put that down on there. God, I want you to give me the type of mind that is so nonchalant that they get mad because I don't care. They get mad at you because I don't care what you think about me. Go ahead. Go ahead, honey. Because I'm such a creative writer. I'll probably help you find some words so you can stop using the same old about me. Okay? So that's your assignment. I'm going to end with that. I do expect, because sometimes people won't do because they you don't tell them that I expect you. I expect you to do this in order for you to reach your highest good. I expect that out of you. You ain't got to come tell me. If it's on the YouTube video, just said that I did the assignment. You understand? All right then. Peace out.